Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to All the Mods 10, where we left off, and yes, I do have a backpack on. There was a couple of things I wanted to show you. One thing is, we got a villager over here that sells us seeds. Now, of course, the seeds are for my backpack that I have that allows us to have the advanced feeding upgrade. In turn, with the eternal steak in it, you can sit there and passively eat as long as your hunger and health are low. Now, of course, just like with last episode, everyone wants to know what's in the basement, and it's time to show it off. Now, it's not fully done, but it's done enough for right now. The basics is there's going to be 3 different gateways down, and then kitty corner to this room, connecting these 2 rooms and these 2 rooms, will be more rooms to make it so that way all the mods are kind of separated but kind of together at the same time. And yes, sooner or later, we're probably going to have to put signs up saying, hey, this way and this way and this way and this way for everything. Now, of course, lava on the roof with some connected glass is pretty much what we're going for, with just different designs of stone brick in between. But we do have both power functionalities down here in comparison to up top where it was before. And of course, like we did last time, we have the smooth stone and regular stone here, so that way we can actually create things like this. Now, of course, I do have a diamond furnace down here with the augment of factory in it, and that converts the furnace into a factory, uses power except for heat, and that basically makes it a mechanist furnace. Now, don't get me wrong, we're still going to use mechanists, but for right now, this will do for whatever things we have to smelt down. And of course, it auto injects into here where we have all of our gold, iron, and platinum right now. But the thing we want to talk about is getting more Powah, because later on this episode, there will be a full guide on how to do Applied Energistics 2 right down here in this room. Now, like I said, of course, there's going to be rooms connected to rooms with different mods in it. But I'm hoping I made this room big enough that when we actually talk about different mods that we can use, we can have power right here, and then we can kind of have Applied Energistics along these 2 walls. Setup, of course, is futile. We just need to get it started. And that's what we're going to get started. We're going to get an energizing orb, and then we're going to get a basic energizing rod that basically allows it so that way we can get into hardened, which with hardened, we need energized steel to make different essences of Powah, and then we get blazing afterwards. I just don't have blazing items indicated yet that we can use blaze rods or blaze powders yet. Plus, it requires a lot of energy. So we kind of want to get hardened first. That's going to be the first sense of power. And then, of course, just like this over here, we're going to probably look towards getting an energy cell hardened and also something like a generator hardened or a magmator hardened, something along those lines. Now, I could use mechanist power up on top and then kind of like wind turbines or even biogenerators. But in comparison to this, I do want to start getting into the power mod just so that way we have everything that we can indicate for whatever. And this includes solar panels as well if we really want to use something. Now we're going to stick with what seems to be a Furnator into energy cell just for right now until we can get a little bit later on where we might want to do something maybe with lava or maybe something in with Mekanism. And that's going to be next episode. For this episode, I'm going to collect everything to get the energizing orb and these energizing rods, basics, and of course the energy cables to make it so that way we can actually set up Powah, maybe in this little corner over here. And in the flash, we made Powah. Now, power is coming along the backside here. We have obviously our energizing rods, the starter ones in there, and then we have the energizing orb. Now, this is what we call a laser node. Laser node is pulling from this chest up and out to the energy orb. This is then getting pulled out to the barrel, making energized steel. Now, yes, as much as we love that we're making energized steel, we also need to understand how we're doing it. This is a basic item card that is set to extract in the top left hand corner. You can change it to insert to extract, and it's pulling directly from the barrel. But to the east, we have our item card that is inserting with which also has a counting filter, which allows us to hand make said recipes to send to this. So it sends 1 gold, 1 iron, energizes it. Once it's cleared, then it's good. Basically, it's saying as long as there's 1 gold, 1 iron inside this thing's inventory, the energized orb's inventory, then it's good. And then once it changes to energized orb, then it shoots down, pulls out, and then this happens again. And we're looking good on power. It seems like there's no real power really getting made, except for this does pull out every once in a while, and then it slowly but surely fills right back up though. And that's a very basic way to kind of manually but also automate Powah. The only manual part is actually doing the recipe, so whatever recipe you need, and then it gets put into energized orbs to make energized steel. Now, I just made hardened energy rods, and with those hold about 400,000 FE. In turn, our diamond furnace and also the fernator is kind of fallen behind on the RFs until these kind of the universal cables fill up. That being said, it is time for us to upgrade both energy cell and fernator to hopefully kind of push start anything else we need to use in the future. Now, with everything upgraded to hardened, we have basically no energy in this right now, as it's all getting funneled through what seems to be the advanced universal cables into the energy cell, which will hold up to 10 million FE. Now, one thing we want to start getting into is wireless power, and as I search my inventory, which thankfully we didn't have to search that long, we have a aerial pearl, which on the minimap, I just need a zombie. I'll weave these bows, and that will give us a player aerial pearl. Now, the player aerial pearl allows us to have wireless charging to our own person. And of course, just like with anything else, the player's transmitter just needs power. And now we have a binding card. The binding card allows it so that way we can select what signal we want to input, in quotes, input, into the player. But the only thing I'm looking for now is an Enderman, because we want to make sure that it's dimensional, and I see one right up here. Now, of course, the binding card, straight right click it on an Enderman. That was really loud. And you get a dimensional binding card that, like I said, allows you to have wireless access to power from whether you're in the end or in the nether, or of course mining dimension as well. I'll show you how that works. All you have to do is throw the binding card dimensionally, right click to bind it to me, and then you're going to throw it into here. Green means good. And now anything on me that requires power will receive said power. Now, of course, I can just toggle around, and I have unlimited power to just kind of float around and do whatever I want with my jetpack here. Of course, we want to upgrade our jetpack so that way we have ultimate flying utility. But for right now, that does the job. Now, until I really get Eyes of Ender and getting into Blaze Powder and all that for Eyes of Ender, and then that's allowing us to get Ender Gates. I believe that's what we're gonna do next. All right, so it's been a couple days in between me recording that last clip and now. But don't worry, because I have clips, I can tell you exactly what we're going to do next. I was going to use the cardboard boxes for the AE2 that's coming up, but we're actually going to go find a spawner in the nether for blaze rods, so that way I can set up a room to kind of trap them in down below here. And that would make it so that way no matter what, they can spawn still, but we kind of want it so that way they can spawn without having to continuously hit us or us hear them. Now, we did go to the nether. We did find a blaze spawner, so I realistically just have to go pick it up. Now, with the cardboard box and the monster spawner right here, I can just right click over it, a little blaze in the background, and destroy it. And inside this cardboard box, we now have a blaze spawner that we can take to the overworld. All right. So we create a little room here. As you can see, if I mine into it, then we have the spawner here. We have a couple of what looks to be where my base is over here as well. But for the most part, what it seems like is I can just kind of like come downstairs, hop up in here with my jetpack if I can, and then get the cardboard box out. And a blaze should start spawning, especially if I use the agitator. Now, blaze are in here, And with the agitator, basically, if I run away or go do something in the nether or the end or whatever, it's not going to despawn these blaze. I don't know whether or not it does a higher rate of spawn, but for the most part, we should be good. We just have to obviously worry about getting caught on fire here. But even then, we should have more than enough of food with the endless steak to curve our hunger for survivability. Now, obviously, we're picking up blaze rods so that way we can get the ender cores. And I'm just gonna kind of run this for a little bit and see exactly what happens. Now, I should be getting looting on my sword, but to get looting with the enchanter, it requires some skeleton skulls. So what I'm gonna be doing is hopefully getting the I forget what it's called. Hopefully soon we can get the hostile neural network up so that way I can get a lot more of these blaze rods and looting on my sword because it's easy enough to get skeleton skulls once you do have the network up and running. Now, as when we were looking for Allthemodium, we came across this wreck, I would say, all the way from home, all the way over here. If we dig into it, we have Skystone on top, which we actually need to grab a couple of. But what we're actually looking for are all these crystals here. And of course, the mysterious cube in the middle. Now we can destroy the the quartz without doing this flawless one. This is the one we actually want to stick in the box and transport with us separately than these chipped ones. After going on our hunt, we actually have 2 flawless budding quartz, which actually works very well for us. And I'll show you why here in a second. But like I said, right here, right now, what we want to do is actually get this sorted out. And I'll show you what AE2 has in store for us. And bam, just like that, AE2 is done. Pretty much the setup of it, the basics of it is done for the extent of what we need it to, what we expect it to do. So far, we have the controller here, we have the crafting terminal, and every single last thing is in here that we've moved over. All inscribers are hooked up obviously as well, so that way if we go in here we can auto craft any type of like just say silicone. This is one of the things that inscribers do. You pop it in there and bam, it makes it. It's all set up for that. These are not the chargers are not auto set up, but it's still receiving power from the back wall, as you can see right there. I need to hole patch these somehow, and it's the same thing over here with the reaction chamber. We don't really have it automatically set up, but we could if we really need to. On top of that, we moved over the flawless quartz over here with the extractor to give us the dust that we need, and slowly but surely it'll just pop up and I'll move over if I really need. Last but not least, we have 1K item storages in here, and as we progress, we will make these into 4Ks and 16Ks and so on and so forth, until realistically we don't need any more storage upgrades. And I do have a fully empty ME drive, so that way if anything, I can do a 4K in here, wipe these clean, make these 16s, and then make those 64s, and so on and so forth until we have everything maxed out. And like I said, over here, the only thing we really have is still Steve looking inside the chest, and obviously at the mine dimension, everything else is gone and moved inside. Over here to the left, we have the Silent Gear Anvil plus the EnderIO. And over to the right, we still have our lava generators, the blaze trophy, a trash can, the enchanter chipped the anvil, and then obviously the smithing table and the over here with the big That being said, I'm going to kind of show this off a little bit because everything that we have is in here minus what's in the mining dimension. So what we're going to get is wireless access and a wireless access crafting terminal, which we can actually just kind of really quickly make. And as you can see, I'm kind of just flying through this and all we really need to do is what did I do? And all I really need to do is just follow the kind of crafting patterns and make whatever we need to when it comes to 2 different things. So we just keep clicking until we can add, and then once we add, then we can go back, boom, add that. That's done for the ME terminal, and we do on so on and so forth until finally we can make everything that we need for wireless access for the crafting terminal. Now we do have player power, as you can see, and also an ender cell here that kind of is pulling power from the backside, but also is getting power from all this stuff. But while we are kind of looking for everything, we have this energy cell going to the player power, and the player power is what is allowing us to have this wireless crafting terminal. Now, of course, with the access point, you can also do any of your building gadgets. Those also will pull from the AE2 system here. So if I say in my inventory I don't have any, but if I have any stone bricks, they'll be right there. If I shift right click for glass, I can get glass anywhere. Stone bricks, like I said, and even these smooth stone blocks, it'll pull directly from my inventory. And of course, that's really good when we're talking about building, because realistically, when we are building rooms like this, I really need to keep my inventory clear, but also make sure that my inventory is good at the same time. Now I can say be gone with crafting on a stick, and I can use the same exact tool, middle mouse click, to open up my actual AE2 terminal and put that away. And of course, in here, you can use the refined storage to actually do the wireless terminal, and still middle mouse click, and we have it going. Good. Now you can enable pick block and enable restock. That's basically saying if I middle mouse click on something, it's going to give me a stack of what that item is. So I middle mouse click on this, it's giving me my stone brick, but that's all the stone brick I have within my inventory. So you just kind of have to be a little bit on the carefuler side when doing something like that, because you can easily middle mouse click on some dirt and kind of put dirt in your inventory when you don't really need it. I just want to make sure that that was clarified. Basically, if I'm looking at these stone bricks, I can middle mouse click, and if I really wanted to have that selected and put into my inventory a stack, then it will put in that stack. And with restock on, say you have 1,000 stone bricks, it'll put 1,000 in quotes 1,000 stone bricks in your inventory, but realistically, it's only taking up one slot, and it's a slot of 64. But for the most part, that's AE2 done for you, and realistically, it's not even, it was a big project, don't get me wrong, but I'm glad I did it off camera, so that way it was something that I didn't have to kind of explain as I went, and you guys kind of get a little bit of a, like, almost like a not a deja vu, but like a, oh hey, this is exactly how this is going, and this will expand more and more as I put more and more items onto this, and in turn we're actually going to get an infinite range booster. Now we need the infinite range booster because as soon as I get pretty much outside of this room down here, I'm out of range. And a couple things we need, one of them being ender pearls. I can get right over here as per usual. I can get gold into the emeralds, and in turn I can get those into ender pearls. Now, of course, with this system, the biggest thing that I would really want to get across is time. Your time is kind of what will equal how much of auto crafting you can do. Obviously, I'm not going to auto craft this dust because realistically, I don't see the point to. But when it comes to something a little bit later on, yeah, there's different things that we will auto craft. And with everything done, we have the infinite range booster, which now if we go outside of this room with the infinite range booster, and obviously it's night outside, we can obviously still open up our inventory, which is actually going to be really good, especially if we go as far as we can. Let's say middle of the ocean, about 300 meters away, we cannot find it. Interesting. Okay. So about 150 meters away, we can find it. Now, why it's called infinite, I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong here. And I was doing something wrong because I did not claim my chunks for my base. And of course, once again, I'm about 400, 500 meters out, and I can now look at my inventory. But that's going to do today's episode, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what I could have done better. Tell me what I could have done worse. Make suggestions. Now, people are making suggestions in the comments that I'm basically should be using at Mekanism. And when we're looking at Mekanism, we obviously are looking at the gas burning generator, and that's something that I'm looking at for mid to high range power. But obviously, we're all also looking at hmm, atomic alloys and obsidian ingots, which are a little bit out of my range without the automation of AE2 mixed with Mekanism. Now, don't worry, that is coming hopefully here shortly. But like I said, I hope you all enjoy the episode. And tell me, tell me any suggestions that you might have, and see exactly what we can do. Maybe there's an item that you really want to see, but I haven't gone over it yet. I'll see everybody in the next video, and as always, I love ya. Goodbye.